Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break. Brought to you by Sand Hills Global. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Steve Sipple, Jake Swords in the studio, Bill Busch with us from afar. Bill, you are in St. Louis. Is that correct? Can you hear us?
St. Louis, Missouri, yes.
St. Louis.
Where are you? In St.
Oh,
Louis.
right now I'm in the same hotel room, which is nice. I only have them book one with a piano. If they don't have the piano, I will not go to that hotel. So I'm very excited to have
What are you doing in St. Louis?
a speaking engagement that will be happening today. So very excited about that. I drove it, a very simple drive, but we'll get to that also during Bill's Thrills. We'll talk about the drive during Bill's Thrills.
You go south and take a left.
I'll
right?
say this. Bill told me the amount of time it took him to get there. I thought it was an extra hour than what he told me. So I lived a whole myth my whole life on the drive to St. Louis.
You are living a myth.
I am. Apparently so.
Okay, that's good. Bill's in St. Louis. He joins us via, how do you say?
Via stream.
Via stream. I also have a new, my awesome wife bought me this new headset that I'm wearing for increased audio. So very excited about that.
Yep. It sounds better than before.
I like not seeing him. It's kind of,
You can just hear it.
there's a mystique.
Well, he can see you, but you cannot see him.
There's a mystique to this for me. Like, and I don't want to see you. I just want to imagine what you look like today.
What's your guess? What's your guess on what he looks like? You could probably nail this.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Give it a shot for what Bill looks like.
Yeah, give it a shot because he wears the same thing every single day.
What do you got?
Yeah,
he's wearing a black. He's wearing something black up top.
His hat or
is his shirt
or
it's
a pullover. Looks like it's a
black pullover.
Yep.
He does have a cap on.
Which hat is it though?
Okay, it's
got about 3 or 4 options usually for that.
God, this is where I could get hung up. He's got the black hat with the red dot on it.
Nailed it.
Yep, he's got the Beck's hat on.
The Beck's hat on and a hoodie. Yes, and a black hoodie, which I wear every day.
I've noticed you've upped your shoe arsenal a little bit. You've increased your arsenal. I've seen you wearing some New Balance, I think.
Not New Balance. I've had some Hokas on.
Hokas. I'm sorry, Bill. I'm sorry.
Hokas. Yes.
Hokas are nice.
But
which also ages you very quickly. When you have on a giant pair of cushiony shoes, it just screams aging. Yes, because when you literally do not care one bit about how you look, it's more about the comfort. Yeah, you've reached a new level.
Mm-hmm. You do have some.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Inordinately padded Hokas. I thought they were.
They are
New Balance.
Yeah, they're very. It's almost hard to balance in them because they're like they have pillows on your feet.
They're young guys and women do wear Hokas though. That's not totally an old guy thing.
I have Hokas. I don't wear them right now. I got a new pair like a month ago. I've not worn them yet, but I have some Hokas. So me and Bill are in the same category there.
Does Ellie's here too? We should acknowledge I think she's wearing Hokas.
Those Hokas? Wow.
Where's your
Hokas at? Join the club.
Yeah. So
I don't feel quite so bad. Thank you, Ellie. Ellie also was very helpful this morning. Her and Jake Sorensen helping me get hooked up with this was very, very nice.
IT work. We called to Apply Connective. They helped us out. They're helping us out with all the IT stuff, Bill.
So we're protected right now. No one can hack the show.
No.
You know what Ellie brings? You know what she brings to this whole enterprise? A sense of calm.
Yes, that would be 100%. We've had incredible producers. Ellie might calm us down the most.
She brings calm.
I think Ben was able to do that until he started getting his voice and started kind of talk all the time.
Yeah, he didn't.
When he started coming out of the producer room at break, that's when everything changed.
I wasn't calm anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure he brought calm.
It started off.
Yeah,
calm.
There was no calm. I'm with you. There was calm to start, and then then it turned into mayhem. Is exactly what it was.
Mayhem with Ben during the break
because Ben would come out, but when when we started just to set our headphones down, Ben met us at the door.
Yep.
With comments.
About a variety of things.
Yeah, a variety of things. You're right. You didn't know it could be politics. It could be sports, and all sports also. He commented on every sport.
You know what Jake did yesterday, Bill? Do you remember what Jake did? He brought into our lives Garden Party by Ricky Nelson.
That was incredible. And you mentioned that it could have been arguably Jake's greatest song, and I agreed. It's in the rotation for being possibly his greatest song.
In this morning, singing that exact song to me for some reason. There's like a ballad in here.
Has Ellie got the cookies out that we have stashed?
No, I don't see the cookies yet. I don't see the cookies yet.
Bill, you're not here. What are you doing for nourishment?
Bring up coffee. I'm having some coffee, in-house coffee.
Okay. Hey, Elliot, it's not a bad idea to put those out. I'm not ordering you to do it necessarily.
Just kind of a hint, wink, wink.
Sort of
we take some substance up here.
Yeah. I mean, are those cookies? We got them on Friday, right?
They're good for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're good for a while still.
Okay.
Good for 2 weeks. There is one cookie that I took a bite out of that I'm still going to finish that I haven't finished. It's still there that Ellie points out every time. Like there's a cookie you take a bite out of and put it back.
Sounds like Sip with the donuts back in the day.
Bella took donuts. Bella took cookies yesterday too when she came to visit us.
She did.
That's good. Well, she should. There was a lot of cookies there. I appreciate that.
Lisa, thank you to Lisa for bringing in a treasure trove of cookies that still exists.
Yes, and big fan of you also. So, you said you had something for Idle Chit Chat, Sip. You wanted to address.
It was. Oh, I was going to ask Bill this. This is an old, and Jake's going to help with this. I was watching. Can you keep up with everything, Bill? That's what I'm getting at. How do you keep up
big question.
With everything going on? We have a 3-hour show coming up next week. We're going to do a 3-hour show, and it's going to demand a little bit more of our time and our focus on the current events. NFL coaches are going to podiums and at an accelerated rate, and I don't know who they are, most of them. And
there is a lot. I will admit that. Yes, last night on Sports Center they started going through the rotation, and it was a lot. They were whipping through the new conversations. It was a lot at one time.
Thank you. You got Liam Cohen with the Jags from the Tampa Bay Bucks OC. You have Aaron Glenn going to the Jets, former Lions defensive coordinator. He's now the Jets head coach. And we'll get to Brian Schottenheimer here in a second regarding the new Cowboys coach. But yeah, a lot of movement going on.
Yeah.
And the Saints still do not have a head coach yet. They're still working that out. Might be Mike McCarthy, potentially. Other names in that conversation are out there, but he might be the favorite right now.
The Bears hire,
Ben Johnson.
The Bears hire Bill. I don't think don't think I gave my opinion on air on it. The more I looked at it, the more I liked it. The more it makes sense to me because he's going to work with the quarterback. I mean,
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, they it's kind of a pair, and they're going to try to make the franchise hum with a guy who understands offense and quarterbacks, and the first overall pick happened to be a quarterback. And I don't know, that one made sense to me. But yeah, they were coming at a dizzying pace yesterday. And I found myself going, I can't do this. I got other things I got to do. So
are you caught up then though? After all? So you're not caught up.
Well, I mean,
I'm with Steve. I get my own information in bits and pieces. There's never a time where I have a certain show that I watch or I'm going to update on this. It's probably more going to certain websites on my phone to update myself on what has happened on Fox Sports or ESPN or something like that. That's kind of where I find my news for the most part.
Jake is of a different era than us, and what my issue is, and I have a lot of them. What my issue in this case is, Bill, I don't know if you're like this or not, if this is an age thing. If I see Aaron Glenn as the coach of the Jets, in my mind, I say, okay, I got to read 3 articles now. Let's see what this is all about. Whereas I think a lot of people just say, okay, give me 2 paragraphs. I'm fine. Okay.
I'd be on the side of Jake Sorensen on that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'd be more on the side of just give me a little bit of background here. I kind of know who they are in some aspect. Just give me a little bit of information.
Aaron Glenn was a successful player for the Jets back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he, of course, had success with the Lions calling the defense, which has been struggling for a long time. He made him respectable. So
Good job.
that's all you have to know about Aaron Glenn. Did a good job with Detroit.
2 paragraphs. That's good.
That was even less.
Aaron Glenn by far had the best press conference yesterday. I mean, he got after it. He kind of let them know how things were going to be. Dropped a few. They had a couple bleeps in there in the press conference, and it was kind
of.
Yeah, Sip noticed that a couple years ago. What's happening with that? It's fine to cuss now. No one cares, apparently. Bill, professional moments there.
When Bill was at the podium at Nebraska, he never cussed, not once. Did you?
Yeah, that would not be a good. That would not be a good look to be up there at the podium with that happening. But his was the most interesting by far, and actually it was most interesting, but also was the most easy to connect with. Also, you guys like, okay, when you watched the press conference, you left going, I like this guy.
Yeah. Then Duval. There's not Duval. Why did I say Duval? You know why I said Duval?
Yeah, well, Duval is the phrase they used in Jacksonville.
Right. And that guy came from Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Again, his
Liam Cohen. So that was an odd situation. Liam Cohen had turned down the Jags offer last week because he didn't want to work with Trent Baalke, the GM. The GM who, they're trying to get, Ben Johnson, the other guys there, and they all said no. So Shad Khan, the owner of the Jags, says, all right, we have to fire Trent Baalke. And right away, Cohen's like, yeah, I'll work there now. I'll go to Jacksonville and be your head coach. So Trent Baalke, not apparently well liked in the circles of the coaching profession. But the moment he was gone, Liam Cohen says, yep, I'll be your head coach. Thank you, Jacksonville.
That's somewhat shocking because there's only 32 NFL head coaching jobs. It's shocking that you would pass on one because of the GM, because the opportunities, they come and go very quickly. Because next year, you may not be the hot name. Even though it's not like, well, I'm just going to sit on this till next year, then I'll take one of these next year, and next year never happens.
Right? What's Trent Baalke's issue? I wonder. Jake.
Well, I mean, he's not the most well liked GM. How many GMs are well liked by players? I can't speak for players. I don't know how that works, but I know that Jags fans are not exactly happy with Trent Baalke for the draft.
Jake, are you happy with the Dolphins general manager?
No, I'm not a big fan of Chris Grier. I'm really not at all. I don't know if he's disliked to the same extent as Trent Baalke was in Jacksonville, but Chris Grier has been rewarded for incompetence for years and is still the GM of the Dolphins. I don't get it, but it's my team.
Is there just
you want to change, Jake? Would you like to see a change with the GM?
I would change because he's been there for 24 years in the organization, which has resulted in 0 playoff wins in 24 seasons that he's been around. And as the GM of the last 9 years, again, have made it a couple times, never have been close to winning a playoff game. What's the point? What are we doing here? What are we
doing
here?
Yes, Bill.
Steve?
Yes, Bill.
Jake makes a good point here.
I know he does. He
does. When you put it that way and say, okay, 24 years he's been there and there's not been a playoff win.
No, the whole time he's been in the organization, no playoff wins.
I mean,
the Commanders got a new quarterback and went to the NFC Championship.
See, that's
got a new head coach, Dan Quinn, who's been successful in the league with the Falcons. Again, blew the 28-3 lead, but still was in a Super Bowl with the Falcons. Proved he's a good coach again in the playoffs. Yeah, it's the guy you want to have on your staff.
The leadership matters for sure. It matters. It's not just a player conversation. You got to have the right ownership, GM, head coach for it to work at a super high level for a long time. That's
the Chiefs.
You don't have it right
figured
now.
out.
You don't have that.
That's why I'm saying the Dolphins. I look at the Chiefs. I look at the Chiefs. I'm like, the Dolphins aren't even as close to the Bills, and the Bills aren't as good as the Chiefs. You are miles away. You're miles away.
You just got to hope you catch a perfect storm at some point. That's all. That's the only way you can hope for.
Yeah, just a waste of time, really.
Yeah. Jake, come on.
The Miami Dolphins football is a colossal waste of time. But I am proud to waste my time every Sunday in the fall tracking and
Jake,
following.
you bailed on the season during middle of the first quarter. Second offensive series for the Dolphins. You said season over.
Yeah. The first game was concerning. They beat the Jags, who are terrible.
They won the game.
And then they played Buffalo week 2, and Tua got hurt, and he also was playing bad before the injury. And then he went out for a couple games. They lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Colts. They lost to the Titans, got killed by the Titans on Monday Night Football. I had every reason to bail on the season early on before I came back.
One other thing, Bill, we have to address on air right now. Are we going to have okay, now we announced yesterday we're going to 3 hours.
3 hours.
Are we going to have a staff meet? I've had people some people asked me yesterday, okay, how are you guys going to do this? I said, well, I think we're going to have a staff meeting and discuss it.
And I'm 100% on board with that, because really the only discussion was that we're going to go to 3 hours, and that was it. That was okay. We do an extra hour.
I feel pretty confident about our ability to put together a good third hour for the show.
I do too.
If you think about the times we had things, how many times on the show do we say we did not get a chance to even cover this? We did not even hit on this. And so there is a lot of information, especially when we get back to August next year. We could go 4 hours, Jake. I'm going to push for 4 hours.
Only 6 months away.
Hey, let's easy there, Seabass. Is that what you say? Not so fast.
I don't think it really fit in Seabass really good right there, but
not so fast.
4 hours is three's good though.
Three's solid.
Yeah, we're going to three starting Monday. We'll have to talk about it a little bit more.
Where would the staff meeting be at, Jake?
Well, it could be at a bar, could be here, could be at my house, could be a restaurant. I don't know.
We have a staff room.
We have a conference room here. We could chat in the show.
Yeah.
The difference with the staff meeting now, if let's say Ella was there and Jake, they'd have their laptops out. Steve too. I'd have a pad. I'd have a piece of paper, and I'd take notes. I would not be typing them into a computer.
No. Hold on now. No. I'm 100% writing in a pad in that situation. I don't type notes into a computer. Sometimes I will type notes into my phone and the notebook as an app. I don't know what the hell it is. I do that. I wrote my.
So if we sit, you and me will be on pad and paper, and Ella and Jake will be on their laptop.
No, I'll consider the pen and paper. I'll probably have it on computer, but I will consider pen and paper.
Pen to paper.
Yeah. We'll have that meeting sometime.
Third hour.
Third
pen
hour.
To paper.
Got to discuss it. How we're going to manage that.
The third hour.
Well, we have a chance to expand on aging gracefully with how to write a good obit.
Yes. Yeah.
Got that info last week from SIP. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We can expand on that.
I'm really using that in my daily life.
The importance of obits.
Obit and the ability to pick your phone up off the floor for fitness.
That one was odd. But you know what? It wasn't my aging gracefully. I learned something. Phil.
I was doing it on Saturday and thinking it's a big part of my Planet Fitness.
Big part of my day, picking my phone up. You have I'm always impressed at my fitness establishment when someone has their phone and they have the timer where they're in between sets and they actually time. When that's impressive to me. They're like, boom, you see what they're doing. They're like, hey, every 30 seconds or every minute, whatever the rest time is, I could never be that focused. There's a chance that I could do a set on the bench press and not do another one for 25 minutes.
No, I'm not doing. Oh God,
walking around.
Yeah,
just walking around talking to people. Yeah,
the phone, setting them off.
No, I don't do that. I think I have a clock in my head. I think most people have a clock in their head, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
What is this, Jake?
This is Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by our friends at Renew. Please call or text David at 402-833-3858 or go to renewyourauto.com. I do everything from body shop, ceramic coatings, window tinting, spray, and bed liners, and more at renewyourauto.com. So I saw yesterday, we were talking about that Jim Knowles is going to Penn State.
Jim Knowles
from Ohio State getting paid. It's 3 years, $9.3 million, so $3.1 million a year, the highest paid defensive coordinator in college football history.
Wow.
It made me ponder something that if this were Nebraska, if they're in the same situation where they're able to poach a great coach, a highly liked coach from a different rival like Penn State did to Ohio State, who would you choose? I feel like most fans would probably go to Iowa and take either Phil Parker or LeVar Woods. Is that where you start? Is there somebody else that you would want to poach?
Yes.
As a rival?
Yes.
I'm not saying like Ohio State. They're not really a rival. You can think about Big Ten West
rival.
Teams.
Yeah. It has to be a rival. Oh.
But if you have a different option, who would you want to choose? Who would you poach right now that you like as an assistant coach in the league?
An assistant coach.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd go straight to Chip Kelly if I had my druthers. I mean, but Nebraska's got a good offensive coordinator, so you see what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, if I just had to start a team and I had my pick of Big Ten coordinators, I'd say Chip Kelly. And on the other side, I would probably go Wink Martindale. I don't know, or Knowles.
That's where you'd go.
Yeah.
Just those points.
Well, Martindale had 20 years, has 20 years in the NFL, and this year their defense was outstanding. Second in the nation against the run, 10th overall. I don't. There's a lot of good ones. That's the thing. Yeah, Phil Parker would be up there. Yeah, Phil Parker would be good. I don't, Jake. When I saw the question, I think more of the characteristics I'd look for than the person. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a hard question because right away it stirs up. Well, don't you like our coach at that spot, or what do you have? It's a very difficult one to.
Right.
So you have to look at it as if the position is open.
Oh,
right. Absolutely.
It's absolutely like Steve said. We have, like I said, they have a veteran offensive coordinator right now in Dana Holgerson, which is a great hire. But if the position was open, what would you look to? I agree with what Steve said. You'd want the biggest thing I would look for if you're trying to poach someone would be history in the league.
Yes.
I would look for history in the league, which would make Parker very valuable from Iowa for being in the league so long. Then I also look for, and I agree, why he'd be a good one also is that who did the most with less is what I always look for.
That a lot.
Sometimes it's like okay, they were really good at this place, and it's kind of like, well, it's kind of hard not to be pretty good at that school with the players that they have. And so I always look for who does the most with less.
The history in the league it's an interesting discussion to me because, the Big Ten has changed a little bit with the injection of those West Coast, the teams from the West Coast. But I'm with you on that. I've seen some coaches that were unfamiliar, and I think it took them time to adjust. Scott Frost, I do. I think Frost acknowledged as much. He didn't even. That's not even my opinion. Frost stated it. I think in his third season here at Big Ten Media Days,
when you had teams like the Big 12, which only had 10 teams at the time, where you played all 9 of your opponents every year, it was incredible the work you would do and what you'd have on a team over the years of playing them. Even in the Big Ten, where you'll have some back-to-back years, there's also a lot of change where it's not, well, we don't play those guys every year. And so that's a difference. When you used to play teams every year, there were so many things that you knew about them or what was going on with them. And that always kept you, a little bit ahead of the game. So it's very complicated now with having 18 teams in the league, how it changes every couple of years. You don't have the same, we said, like we assumed before, that's a lot. And Nebraska holds on to, what do they have? 2 they hold on to, right? Wisconsin and Iowa. Is that correct? The 2 games that are protected every year?
For sure, Iowa, not Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not protected. They don't play them for a couple of years, I believe.
Gotcha.
Iowa is protected, though, for Nebraska every year.
Other characteristics, I'm probably, God dang it, I'm going to get myself into a little bit of a jam here. I'm kind of youthful side I'm looking at a little bit more. Now Chip Kelly doesn't really fit that category, nor does Wink Martindale. But there's
nor does Phil Parker, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm not
exactly. I'm using my own.
Yeah, here. I'm not all that. I mean, Phil Parker's very good, but I'm looking at youth. I'm not necessarily. That's not going to be the deciding factor. But as a 58-year-old, I think I might want a guy who's a little 10 years younger than me in there. But
I think in this conversation again, when you go to Chip Kelly as your top target for OC, I as Bill said, I mean, with Dana Holgerson, I mean, I don't know if you can do much better than him. If you're trying to poach somebody across the league, it might be just Chip Kelly offensively.
I'm glad you said that.
Is there anybody else in the league that you want as an offensive coordinator that's better than Dana Holgerson besides potentially Chip Kelly?
Kotelnicki at Penn State's got a really
he's pretty good. Yeah, he's good.
He spent a lot of time at Kansas. Yeah. Correct.
And Bill, didn't you think it was pretty noticeable what he was doing at Penn State?
Yes.
It
was.
He got it going. It was a pretty inventive offense. They didn't have the benefit of great wideouts.
No. Yes, they put up a lot of points with the great running backs. Tyler Warren, the tight end, obviously phenomenal.
And they did a lot of different things to get Ty Warren the ball. It wasn't just line him up in the slot or line him up in line and run basic routes. They did a lot. They did a lot to get him the ball. So, and it was a well-conceived offense. That would be the one that comes to mind. But man, Chip Kelly during the playoff, was. There was at times I thought, Bill. Now listen. I get it. You could be rolling your eyes right now. I'm a layman, but it looked to me like he was schooling defensive coordinators at times, like just literally saying, we're better prepared, and right now you're on your heels because we're better prepared than you. That's what it looked like to me. Like they're playing.
I wouldn't push back on that too hard. It did look that way, which was the only pushback would be from the Ohio State Buckeye fans were, well, where was this in some of these other games?
Yeah.
Where was this at? Why was this happening in other games where we didn't look like this, or we didn't? I mean, Michigan was a good defense. I agree, but to only score 10 points against them, 13 to 10, and when the other side of the ball didn't move the ball, they had plenty of opportunities. It doesn't add up. Not when all of a sudden you're up on Oregon 34-0. Those things don't add up.
Yeah.
In the Nebraska game too, they were very vanilla. I thought, Jake.
It was 21-17. They had a deep shot. They had a touchdown on, but beyond that, it was I mean, the running backs were not impressive against Nebraska. They didn't move the ball very well.
It looked to me like it was. This is just what it looked like. I'm not saying this what it was. I'm not saying this what it was. It just looked to me like Kelly was like, we're not going to show our cards in this game. We're just going to do the very bare minimum, and it's going to get us by. Well, it's dangerous. That's what it looked like. I don't know if that's like Chip Kelly would probably.
Well, if you go back and watch the game, it was vanilla compared to what you've seen in the last several games.
What? So what? Why would you do it that way, Bill? Why would you do it that way?
Sometimes you just get caught in games and things aren't going well, and maybe you say vanilla, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, we got some things we want to run, and the other team is playing well, and the next thing you know, it's like we didn't get the first down, so we didn't get another set of plays. I mean, they didn't get. I don't know what the total number of plays in that game were, but it'd be worth noting because Ohio State did not have a ton of opportunities because Nebraska did well against them on the defense. And so they didn't have as many opportunities. And sometimes, and also you say, hey, knock it off and let's turn this thing on. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And so sometimes, but it did appear, I think Steve has hit on the head. It appeared very vanilla start of just like, let's just do what we do. Very simple. Get this thing going and we'll be in good shape. Because if I'm correct in the rotation, the game before was 56-7, right?
It was
Indiana.
Yeah, it was the game before.
That's right.
Absolutely, 56-7. Yeah.
And so I'm sure they struggled with their team that week in preparation of some sort, like just have them ready to go. And they're just like, well, we just watched the game, and they scored 56. Indiana did, and so that's a hard game to go into. And then they caught them at that 11 a.m. kickoff, and so there was asleep at the wheel, and then Nebraska took advantage of it.
I want to run something by Bill, Jake.
Go for it.
If you don't mind.
Go for it.
Bill, now again, always keep in mind you're the expert on this topic. I'm right behind you, but not quite at your level.
I think you are.
Yeah. Now, if I'm look for a defensive coordinator in the Big Ten, I'm talking in the Big Ten. I was thinking about this stuff last night. One of the characteristics I want is a coach who's been more line oriented, more box oriented than a secondary coach. Now again, Nebraska just hired a secondary coach to lead the defense, and it obviously can work. But I'd want somebody in the Big Ten that's more oriented toward the front. Linebacker, maybe a former linebackers coach, former defensive line coach, someone who's been more that way. I don't know though. That may not matter at all. I've heard the discussion though. And it always gets my antennas up.
In my opinion, the best place to coordinate from is linebacker because you're right boots on the ground with the run game. Secondary, you are in the run game also, but it's different linebacker. And then you're also so involved with where the front's at, what our fits are in the run game, and so sometimes in the back end. I know early on in my career, I wouldn't have been a very good coordinator because I was so concerned of everything within the passing game and what was happening. And the first thing I have to do is when they hand the ball off, I have to have a great plan. And so you get that into your head pretty fast of how to be able to do that. The linebacker position would be, and that's where you'll see most from that. But that is, in my opinion, that's the best place to be calling the game from because you're heavily involved in everything that's going on, with it. So but people can do it from all spots. Charlie McBride was a defensive line coach, and did an excellent job. And one of the reasons was because he had Tony Samuel, and because he had either Kevin Steele or whoever he had at that spot, Craig Bowl, and then he also had George Darlington, a longtime veteran in the back end, and they're all on the same page.
Yeah.
They were never trying to. Everyone saw the game the same way, and so there was no internal issues on the staff. And so that helps a ton, because sometimes you're in the back end, you're like, man, they're giving me no help, up front, or vice versa. It's like, hey, they want us to stop the run with 5 guys because they want to be able to do this in the back end, and that's not going to work either. And so when you have a staff that's on the same page like that staff was, and so Charlie had that, but if you don't have it, I mean, front is still the best, because that like I talked about, mass kicks ass. And you want things up front to be, no matter what, when you get started, that's where things have to start, and that's where you have to be, perfect in alignments and assignments with what you're doing. Is give the front a chance, because a lot of times they have their hand in the ground and it's hard to see and adjust, so they have to understand what's going on at a very high level.
See, now something, as you were talking, something else popped into my mind that I'd be looking for in my coordinator. I'd want someone who could bring in guys that he's familiar with, guys he's worked with. And I'll tell you why. And you'll get this, Bill, because you worked on these staffs. You were there. You were there in some capacity at times. Tom Osborne told me one time, a long time ago, but it stuck in my head, that staff he had on defense. So it was Charlie and George and whoever the rest of them were. Basically the key guys were Charlie and George, right?
Yes.
He said Kansas came out. You'll get this, Bill. You'll understand this completely. He said Kansas came out in something. I think it was Kansas, either Kansas or Kansas State. Jake came out in something they had never seen, and that's a scary time for a guy like Bill. The team's showing something you've never seen. You weren't expecting it. Okay, it's not. I got to go back. Not that you've never seen, but you weren't expecting it on that day, so you didn't go through it in practice, etc. Well, Tom said that would happen sometimes, but he didn't worry about it too much because that staff had seen everything. They could just say, okay, all right, we weren't expecting this, guys, but this is what we're going to have to do. And it wouldn't take 4 series. It might take 1 series or 2 series to get kind of adjusted to what they were seeing. Does that make sense to you, Bill?
Yes, and then where you have someone with experience in between the series, instead of being like, what do you think we should do, or what's our plan here? You already know the plan, and then how fast because that time, it might be quick,
right?
Where all of a sudden the offense goes 3 and out. So you might have like, hey, I've got about a minute to get this relayed. They're going empty, and they're doing this, and we're going to go back to this. But when you've seen it, like right away, if a team came out right now, for the most part, if you were playing whoever, Purdue, whatever it would be, midseason, and they came out in straight wishbone,
okay,
it would be like, whoa.
Unless
you have a bunch of old veteran coaches, they're like, I've defended this before. This is going to take a second here. Let's talk through this. But you would have a plan of what you were going to do and what was going to happen.
That's it.
Also, where the veteran coaches help is sometimes you're sitting there and someone will have an idea or a thought. You can be like, I understand why you think that, and that's a good thought. Let me tell you why we shouldn't do that, because I had the same thought 4 years ago or 8 years ago, and we had this thought against Idaho State, and this is what we didn't anticipate happening. So there's some sort of history on things that were good and things that were bad, and sometimes it didn't go bad, but you still be like going, but that's still worth trying, or being able to have a chance to do that. But you have veterans that can say, I understand why you think that, but I'm just going to tell you, I've been down that path, and it doesn't end well. And so having the experience helps in that area.
There you go.
Well, there we go. That was some in-depth discussion there, Sip.
Yeah, it was a good question you asked.
Well, before I get to break, I'm starving after all that.
I know I'm hungry.
Bill's hungry.
Guess what they don't have here, Jake?
You don't have early bird, which makes me sad.
Don't have the bird.
You don't have the bird. I mean, me and Sick could drive down to early bird in 2 minutes and get there today. Bill had to be, a long drive from St. Louis to get here. But
you don't have to come back.
We can tell you what you're missing, Bill. Breakfast burritos, chicken fried steak, which is what, Bill?
Smothered.
Yeah. A variety of pancakes: banana, blueberry, strawberry, maybe huckleberry soon, cinnamon roll pancakes, and of course the world famous hash holes.
Hash hole.
Hash holes.
Check them out today. 19th and
Well,
K.
I'm trying to kind of temper it down a little bit. I'm in a hotel room. There's someone right next to me, probably in the other room.
They're gonna knock on the door and say, "What's going on in
Temper down."
Exactly.
Early bird, Lincoln, also Omaha and Iowa. When we come back, Brian Schottenheimer, the new coach to the Dallas Cowboys. We'll discuss that next. Early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Segment 2 is always sponsored by our friends at Beck's Hybrids. Farmers, we know that volume discounts are a major factor in ordering seed, and oftentimes discounts are lost buying from multiple brands, but Beck's has the most diverse lineup in the marketplace. Capitalize on this with Beck's Hybrids and go to beckshybrids.com for a full farm quote. And today we are highlighting Dickie's Seed and Feed. That's Tim and Caleb. Call them at 402-277-6519, a part of the Beck's Hybrid team.
There was Beck's cornfields everywhere driving down here.
Really?
It was like a Beck's bonanza. It was incredible. I'll tell you what else was incredible. Right here in St. Louis right now, there's still piles of snow. There was snow everywhere. So that storm that went through, I mean, you're in Nebraska with zero snow, and you're down you're way down here, and there's snow everywhere.
Wow.
Yes, they must have got a pretty good blast. And then this is 2 weeks old. So this is something that this isn't snow from a couple days ago. This is like 2 weeks old. So they must have got quite a blast here in St. Louis.
Isn't that something?
Amazing, Steve.
Yeah, and no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
With it, we've been spared, and now I'm saying spared, and I think you would say, no, Steve, we need snow.
Yes, for the mushrooms.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
By the way, Bill, the text line before we get to Brian Schottenheimer, someone says they're watching on YouTube. They said, fascinating listening to Coach Busch break down football with his headset on. Feels like I'm watching the coach in action here.
I like it.
With the headset on,
It's
Bill.
a great headset, and let's thank Rick Heyman for this. This was his idea. Rick Heyman reached out to us that this is a much better way to do the show remotely, and so yeah, this is all on. And that's what you want. You want diamonds, yeah. Also, you want to have some bits of information to make the show better. Rick Heyman does it all.
Heyman is a big part of our enterprise.
Yes.
Let's be very clear on that. He's very helpful.
He knows that too. Rick's important for the show.
He is. He's incredibly important. God bless him.
There was a quote yesterday. So you mentioned that there's been a flurry of head coaches hired in the NFL. I mentioned Aaron Glenn, Liam Cohen with the Jaguars, also Brian Schottenheimer. Not Deion Sanders, not Bill Belichick, is the new Dallas Cowboys head coach. There was a quote from Jerry Jones that said, quote, "This is as big a risk as you can take," about hiring Brian Schottenheimer with no head coaching experience at age 51 in his time as a coach over the years. I mean, I think I speak on behalf of the Steelers. This is underwhelming for what we wanted for Deion and or Bill Belichick, but he's the guy. He's been the OC for Dallas the last 2 seasons, and now he's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer.
If you watch the press conference, Bill, it was very odd. It was a Jerry Jones press conference.
Well, that's pretty standard.
Well, just remember, that's what I love about the Cowboys is immediately when the game is over, the first person they interview is the owner. Right. Jerry Jones always he talks to the reporters immediately after every game, which I don't think there's any other owner that does that.
I don't, Jake. Is there another owner as involved as?
No.
I think there is.
No.
If you watch the
first press conference,
the first game of the season next year, and then when the game's over, there'll be a press conference, and usually Jerry's usually standing. He's usually not at like in the press conference room, but the reporters gather around, and he has his own radio show also.
Here's what I wonder about Brian Schottenheimer. I'm not going to disparage the hire before he gets a chance to.
Agreed.
I'm not going to do that. What you wonder, Bill, what I wonder immediately, and we can talk as adults about stuff like this. I've voiced my disapproval with Jake Sorensen's head coach for the Miami Dolphins because I don't
Which
think
I also stand by that now.
Well, I don't think he's a leader. I think he is definitely an offensive mind. I think he's a very capable offensive mind, but I don't think he leads he's not the guy that I want leading my organization. Now, is Brian Schottenheimer that guy? I thought McCarthy has that quality. He just didn't win enough, but he does have the look and feel and comports himself like a guy that's actually interested in leading the team and not just calling plays. Your head coach, I'm telling you, Jake, he is buried in a play sheet.
He is.
And when I say buried, like Andy Reid calls plays and he's in a play sheet.
Yes.
But if you notice Andy Reid, he is doing other things too. I mean, he's
that's why he's a phenomenal football coach.
But
phenomenal.
Bill, that's what I just want to see what Schottenheimer's like on Sundays before I say, they just hired a stock coordinator. We'll see. Well, maybe he's got something else.
I am 100% in agreement with just press pause on if you're disagreeing with it, because obviously there's some qualities there that are really good. Doesn't have the, like you said, it was underwhelming as far as maybe name recognition. And it's very disappointing to me because I wanted Coach Prime to get the job because the interest level for the show would have been incredible. It would have been what we'd have talked about. Would imagine when Coach Prime arrived at Dallas, what it would be like. What's going on at Colorado now? So there's a lot of interesting things that have been fun to talk about. It would have been interesting to follow. But as far as like the wins and losses, I have no doubt that they've selected someone that is very good and ready for the job, and that's a wait and see on me, because there's a lot of times you see a hire and man, that's a slam dunk hire, and it wasn't. It doesn't go well. And I watched a podcast of Alex Smith had on the other day. He does stuff on with ESPN and NFL, and he talked about the number of busts because they're going to hire a coordinator because they have the magic plays, and there's no such thing as magic plays. And so you always look at who can lead teams, who are the guys, and the guys that stand out to me right now. And I just say, God, these guys are just leading of teams. It'd be Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
It would be Tomlin with the Steelers. It would be, I'm trying to think through names in my head, but just go, God, that guy leads the team.
John Harbaugh.
What's it? Harbaugh leads the team.
Baltimore.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both
Harbaughs. Both Harbaughs. I would look in that fashion. And so, Andy Reid, always remember, he's one of those guys, one of the rare. He became a head coach, and he was not ever a coordinator. He was the tight end coach with the Packers when he got named a head coach. And so he was never a coordinator. It obviously didn't really matter too much. When they play in the Super Bowl, you guys realize that Andy Reid's he has the most wins coaching in the history of the Eagles and the Chiefs?
Yes, that's incredible. Yeah,
that's incredible. The most wins for each team that's playing.
Yeah, he's a big time. And wasn't it you who said once that he can coach every position?
Every position. I was told that directly from Alex Smith, who played for him. He said he can, if there's a certain play, he'll be coaching the offensive guard, and then he'll be back talking to the tight end exactly how it's going to be. And he's already has a quarterback, and everybody else, in line. And so yeah, he coaches every position. You always have a general idea, like on defense. I know exactly what the D line needs to be. I know exactly what has to happen. But to coach every position, and to have someone like an Alex Smith, like the quarterback, being like blown away by it, basically saying, I've never seen anybody else do it but him.
Jake is itching to say something.
Well, there again. So NFL.com. I'm reading this article about the Schottenheimer interview. I don't have the Jerry Jones audio, but it is all Jerry Jones quotes. And I just want to read this one because this is amazing that Jerry Jones would go out. How old is he's in his 80s, right? How old is Jerry Jones?
Yeah, in that neighborhood.
I think 82, I believe.
I got
a young 82.
This is one of his quotes. He says, "I know that Brian Schottenheimer is no stranger to these guys. I know he's no stranger to this building. I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone. Without this thing being about me in any way, if you don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable. This is as big of a risk as you can take. As big of a risk as you can take. No head coaching experience, Jerry Jones."
He's odd.
He says
he's getting odd.
If you think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones.
He's 82. He's 82. I don't know. Is what he's basically saying is you just got to trust me on this one. That I know he has. Schottenheimer doesn't have any head coaching experience, but
he's trying to convince himself with that quote there.
Yeah,
he's trying to convince himself he made the right hire.
Yeah, he rambled. He rambled yesterday. He did. I
so
watched
much.
it. Yeah, he rambled, and a lot of the times, Bill, it wasn't. I mean, I just kept thinking, God, I'm glad I'm not covering this. I'm glad I'm not one of those writers in the room because I don't know what I'd write from this. He just rambled.
Of the new hires, NFL head coach, new hires, has there been any interviews with the owners?
Don't know that.
I don't remember one. I there probably was, but I didn't see one.
I think
owners might speak once in a while at a press conference, but very briefly.
But they do
not as long as he.
Are you suggesting, Bill? Does the coach interview with the owner?
No. When they after they made the hire, so just as the owner of the Chicago Bears had a conference as long as what Jerry Jones just had, or does the owner of the, like I said, of the Jaguars?
If they do talk, it's much shorter than what Jerry Jones did.
Yeah, I think generally you let Bill. I think generally you let the sort of the star of the show, being the new head coach, have the floor most of it. Jerry Jones doesn't do that. And listen, I'm not even being critical of Jerry Jones necessarily. I'm not. He just does it his way, and he's a very hands-on owner, and he's very visible. I don't know that I dislike it or like it. It's just the way it is.
So Brian Schottenheimer, new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones talked a lot yesterday. A lot of talking for Jerry Jones, but he's the new guy. When we come back, time for a Bugaboo Tuesday on Bill's
Things
Thrill.
that bother me, Steve.
All right.
And song of the day next on early break of the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Koppel, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at koppelcars.com to get true low country overhead in action. 12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Koppel. So please stop on in or visit us at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Limitless Mail has redefined the little blue pill with our new ED trochees that melt in your mouth, delivering faster results so you can be spontaneous again. Once you try the Limitless Mail trochee, you won't go back to the little blue pill. Our trochees go right to the source through your bloodstream, leading to quicker, harder results. To experience the difference for yourself and your partner, schedule a free consult with the men's health experts at limitlessmail.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, your song of the day from 1975, Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen. 464-568-51 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers song of the day.
Well, Jake, you stay on a heater. I don't even know what's going on right now with you. You played Garden Party by Ricky Nelson yesterday, and
I
you
did.
came back with Bill, that's 1975. What is
Better Times?
Right away, ready for that.
Is that Better Times?
It's Better Times. 75. You got Incredible Times.
For the best time.
Oh, and hey, Bill, we've talked about this before. The opening lines of songs, and it's like Bill's kind of become journalistic oriented, and the opening line to a story or column is really important, and I think that's been lost a little bit in this day and age. But the opening line to this song is beautiful. The screen door slams, Mary's dress sways. Like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. That is poetry.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's poetry.
It's very poetic.
I'm going 9. I mean, Bill, I got to tell you, that Springsteen in 1975, there was nobody I listened to more than Springsteen in the 70s. There's no doubt about it. There's nobody I listened to more.
I'm right there with you. I'm right. That's top 3 for me. I'm with you.
And that song was, it was close to his best. So it can't get under a 9.8. I say 9.8555. Yeah, Jake's just hammering away.
That's two like 9.8s, 9.9s back in a row.
I can't
Garden Party.
I can't
yesterday.
believe you played that song. I can't believe it.
That the song's incredible. Obviously, I don't get to hear it on the stream.
No, I
missed that part of it, which I was upset about because I could have had my app on my phone and listened to it on that. So that was disturbing to me a little bit. But just because it's still an 8.994.
Okay.
2-1.
Big scores.
Yes, big scores. Big scores. Thank you, Jake.
Now, Bill cannot see Ellie because he's not here. But if you want to guess her score,
I'm going to guess she's a 7.2.
4.5 from Ellie. 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
She's young.
Says, oh, wow.
She's young.
Yeah.
She's young. It was 1975. I mean, come on.
The scores, the early scores are not promising. So if I'm going to YouTube first, Chris a 1, Genghis Corn 2.5.
Okay, Genghis, it's okay.
BWD 2, Conservative 1.8. Yeah, Troy 4.2. Bolt 0. Bolton Pender gives it a 0 on that one. See from now the text line, John in Southeast Lincoln 8.5 winner on that song. We're getting back there. Brett and Bertrand a 6. Lyle in Omaha 9.5.
Lyle, good job, Lyle.
Fritz in Lincoln 8.9. Mike and Dalton a 6. We got Big Ty 2.5. Hook Levis 1. Nice job. From afar, he still nails that. Nice job, Bill. Good job.
From St. Louis.
4. Corey says 4. Take it easy, Bruce. On that one. Getting too fired up for that song during that song?
I don't know. A little bit.
Vernon Dakin 2.3. Jennifer 5.9. Hubby 6.1.
Yeah, just lukewarm.
Gavin and Pender 6 on that one. Kiffin in Columbus 8.2. Sanderson 3.9.
Sandy.
Pops in Minnesota 2.
This did not go over well. This did not go over well.
4.6 so far in that one. I think about what Ellie had for her score, about the average score.
It's not for everybody, Bill.
Yeah.
That song's and Springsteen's not for everybody. He's not. I get that.
So there you go. Your song of the day again, Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen from Better Times, 1975.
Speaking of better times.
And now
you know what time it is
it's
now?
time for
Better Times.
Sip's favorite time of the week, Bugaboo Tuesday on Bill's Thrills. Let's fire it up.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom bonanza.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
we
it gonna be
need it.
bonanza?
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. Have you seen? I sent you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Yes, as always, Bill's Thrills sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors, the ATMs, the cash cows of Lincoln. Call them at 402-730-7387 for a free consultation to plan your financial future today. Bill, it is, as I said, Sip's favorite time of the week, a Bugaboo Tuesday, and I think people are curious, what is bothering you today, Bill?
I think this is I think it's gonna hit home. I really do. Double wide, side by side, will make you collide.
Wow.
Double wide, side by side will make you collide.
Uh-oh.
We've had the going down the rural highway and the pull out in front of you with no one behind you and just drives you crazy. We've had the number 2 car that causes problems with passing, which has been big. Last week we hit on the car that had to have both lanes open when turning. Like when you're turning, that was a big one for us right there. But yesterday, guys, I spent 18 miles of driving, and there was 2 semis side by side, both going under the speed limit, and neither would give in. And they just hung in there. One would inch up a little bit like they're going to take it, and the other one would inch back and went 18 miles and probably had 50 cars behind us.
Oh,
50 cars. And I was literally about 2 cars back, and it would never break through. And it was both sides. And it was like, usually what happens is one guy concedes and just says, okay, I'm going to slow down. You get in ahead of me, and let's let everything kind of. They didn't. They went 18 miles of sheer mayhem. And I'd like to know from trucker world, who is in the right and who's in the wrong on this one. We've all seen it, right? We've all been through this.
And what goes through your mind? Here's what goes through your mind, Bill. Are they trying to do this? Is this
I'm going to say this on this one. It looked as if they were just having fun with it. It looked as if 2 truckers were bored in the middle of the day on a Monday. Because in general, no, you don't get that. You get the side by side for a while, then something breaks loose, or the other one just kind of lets someone in, or like, hey, listen, if they have the ability to speed up, and also I can't imagine it's safe with 2 semis driving side by side. I mean, literally about 12 inches apart from each other, whipping down the road at 75, 80 miles an hour. But it was mind-boggling, and that you could just see the people when it finally broke. It was like the dam broke, and cars just went whipping by, and you could see a fit of anger on everyone's face.
A lot of fingers coming out there, Bill.
How are you? Did you whip by with a fit of anger?
I whipped by. It wasn't a huge fit of anger. I had talk radio on, so I was just kind of driving. There wasn't a huge hurry of any of those things. So I wasn't, but it was like after a while, it really got to me. And one would inch ahead and then kind of inch back. But for the most part, they were literally driving exactly side by side. So I'd love to hear from those, because I think that profession is incredible. And in the truck driving profession, I'm a fan of. That is a difficult job. But I'd like to know, what is the protocol when you're side by side and you have the interstate completely blocked off?
Well,
I'd like to know what that is.
For me, in terms of in the line of people behind the semis, did you see anybody threaten to maybe pass on the shoulder?
There wasn't a shoulder situation. No, there wasn't. And a lot of it was because there was a lot of construction, Jake, a lot of tight shoulders.
Got it. Okay.
But it was, and this was between Kansas City and St. Louis where this went down.
I-35? Is that I-35?
I don't know if that's
Jake.
30. I might be. I don't know what I was on. Was I in 70s? Isn't there a 70 somewhere?
70 goes across Missouri.
That's it. You was on
70.
You were
That's
on
it.
70.
I think I was on 70. I think. Yeah.
What? Yeah, 35 goes north and south, 70 goes east and west.
That's
You're on
right.
70. And that's what you described, Bill. I guarantee there's people nodding their heads. I would say it's a common occurrence on that road. Not 18 minutes, but
That's rough.
But
It's common on 80. If you're in between Lincoln and Kearney, that happens to you. Not as bad once you get past Grand Island, I guess. But anywhere from Omaha to Grand Island, it happens a lot.
Yeah,
It
18 minutes is extreme, though. 18 minutes is extreme.
It was extreme. For a while, I was glad that it stayed, because I was almost borderline enjoying watching it. Like what's going to happen here? Is someone going to finally give in and just let it go? But I'd like to know what the protocol is from those in the business.
Okay, we got a couple people that are in the business who have texted in. Thank you on the text line. I don't have unnamed texter says, I'm a CDL here, CDL driver. Truck being passed needs to back off the throttle for a second to lose the momentum and let the passing truck overtake. That's a brainless move by him. Gives us all a bad name. So he's on the side of.
Yeah, it was 18. It was forever. It was forever. And that's what I felt too. I thought usually the one in the right lane would just ease up for a second. Let him. I mean, literally a second. Let him get by, and you fall right back into line again. that's unnamed texter. Thank you. That was great.
Now we have a name tag. Tater is all he says. Truck driver here. I don't believe they're doing it on purpose. I do believe the person in the left lane is causing complete buffoonery. He should know what he is doing to the traffic behind him.
Yeah,
that makes sense too, because you think, why is he out there? Why is he out there if he doesn't have enough? Does he not have enough power to get to go faster? That's what it appeared as if in the left lane, as if it's like, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. If not, why would he not just say, I'm going to pick it up here a little bit? We weren't rolling along at 90 miles an hour.
But do they have the device?
It wasn't like,
Bill, here's a question. Do they have the device that doesn't allow them to go a certain speed? Is there
the governor? I think that's called a governor. Yeah, I don't think that would be it, because we weren't going. No, because we were not rolling. I'm saying at this juncture, the speed limit would have been 75, I believe. We were probably going about 68. Yeah, so it wasn't rolling.
Speed limit. That's the problem. Brent.
Anything else, Jake?
Yeah, Brent works at a flatbed trucking company here in Nebraska. Says the truck in the left lane probably was being governed in terms of the speed. The truck in the right lane should have slowed down and let that truck in.
See, there might be a governor involved.
It could be. Yeah, it could. There could be.
Guess. That's my guess.
How great is it to have breakers with this knowledge? Probably rolling down the highway right now, filling us in. But I think everyone agrees also that the truck drivers agree that like this is not good. I can't imagine that safety issue would be, like you said, to driving side by side that long. And you kept looking, and there was times when it's like they're dead even. They had to be looking at each other right across the window and just like what are we doing here? And there was cars backed up forever. I look in the rearview mirror, and they are just stacked up forever. So it had a major consequences could have happened. There could have been one wreck, and it's going to be a 20-car pileup.
More response here. Brent says, he follows up, he says, we govern our trucks at 65 miles per hour up to 68 miles per hour on cruise control.
See, there you go. I think we have a governor situation.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Yeah. It did look like it, Steve. It did look like it.
It's a bugaboo Tuesday. Bugaboo Tuesday.
Corey works with
things that bother me.
Red Baron. He says my truck is governed at 57 miles per hour.
Yeah, they govern them.
Liam, a lot of truck drivers. Liam, truck driver in Omaha. A lot of trucks nowadays are governed at 68. There are some that are, but many are 65 to 70. So that yeah,
that's what this is.
So the right truck still should have slowed down momentarily to allow the other truck in.
Yeah, you can't put the hammer down, Bill. It's become. I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite my tongue. I want to say.
And that's eventually what happened. Eventually, that is what happened. And then it was then like I said, it was like the dam broke. But that's interesting. I wonder if that's more if you're an independent trucker, are you ungoverned? And if you're in a fleet of trucks, you're in government, because I see trucks still whipping by at 80 plus.
Do you?
So yeah, that does it. Yeah, sometimes you see some semis hauling it out there.
Yeah, you'll see some semis still going. Yeah. So that's interesting. And I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm not getting into the should be governed or not governed. That doesn't bother me. But it was an interesting thing, and it bothered me. That's why I brought it up on Bugaboo Tuesday.
I'm just impressed we have as many truck drivers listening. I know we had some.
Yes.
We had quite a few texts in there.
They are the very lifeblood of the country.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's what I said. I'm a huge trucker fan. Those guys, the lifestyle they lead, I mean, wow. They're on the go. And to imagine just whipping over to like at a rest stop or a truck stop and sleeping a couple hours and then waking back up because I got to keep going.
Yep.
I mean,
I thought the appeal of being a truck driver, and I've contemplated it a lot, as Jake knows, would be the freedom, and you would not be in the office with people, and your boss would be nowhere in sight. That
just
always,
driving, man.
Yeah,
just driving.
That always seemed appealing to me. No boss.
I think it'd be awesome if let's just say that we made cross country runs. We're going New York to LA, and it's just the three of us. One could be sleeping like that. One guy on the passenger side right there. We just a three-way stool rotation.
It'd be incredible fun.
It'd be incredible fun. It'd be a lot of comments. There'd be a lot of.
Would we have convoy on a loop? CW McCall.
We'd be playing CW McCall, busting through.
Yeah, we'd bust it through sometime. We'd occasionally have CW.
Oh, we should.
I wonder can the truckers also chime in? Do they still are the CBs the same? Is it still channel 19? Is it breaker? Yeah, that when they get on the CB or not as cell phones and all that stuff just taken that all away. I'd like to know what that.
That fun might be over. That fun might be over.
Could be.
God, just imagine. Remember what the mic would look like, Steve? Had the cord hanging down.
Yeah,
you reach up. And, you grab it. Breaker 19.
Oh God, that'd be fun.
Bill, the headline again, please.
Double wide, side by side will make you collide.
And that is a wonderful edition of Bugaboo Tuesday on Bill's Thrill, sponsored by Dirk Scott and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors. Thank you for all the response from that one. The truck
Thank you, truckers.
When we come back, we've got some grades on first-year head coaches.
I love this.
We agree or not? It's up next in Early Break of the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Limitless Mail has redefined the little blue pill with our new ED trochees that melt in your mouth, delivering faster results so you can be spontaneous again. Once you try the Limitless Mail trochee, You won't go back to the little blue pill. Our troches go right to the source through your bloodstream, leading to quicker, harder results. To experience the difference for yourself and your partner, schedule a free consult with the men's health experts at limitlessmale.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
This is Matt Rule bragging about the Big Ten, but at the same time, they made it to their bowl game.
66 for me. Yeah, we went to a bowl. We won it, and we won it playing against a team without their best two players. I'm not really buying that, me personally. I think we're a 500 team right now. I don't think we deserve to go to a bowl game. I'm glad we went because we got a chance finally to get some extra work. They got a chance to feel how it feels to go to a bowl game. So that's all dandy. But taking care of what you need to take care of, I think, comes first.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans, so I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen in studio. Bill Busch joins us from afar in St. Louis on the video stream. We appreciate it for being with us this morning. Hour 2, as always, sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. Member
FDIC.
Location in South Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane. Also at 70th and Pioneers. And Bill, is there anything going on with Shin Daddy today on a Tuesday in Creighton?
Well, it's health-based today, Jake and Steve. I thought it's a booster day, as they call it. That it's Tetanus Tuesday.
Oh,
so everyone, you can come in and get your booster tetanus shot.
Oh,
so they'll be doing this. So when you come in to do your banking, all of a sudden something happens. You get yourself, hey, when did you have your last tetanus shot? Well, they keep track of that at the bank. So on Tetanus Tuesday, there'll be a line of nurses when you walk in, and so you can do your banking and then get a tetanus booster shot right there. And so it'll help you out. Just make everyone feel more comfortable that they're safe if something comes up.
I like this, Jake. You pointed at yourself. What do you got to say?
I didn't point at myself, no.
Jake pointed at himself.
I did not.
Have you not had your tetanus booster, Jake?
I probably not. If I don't know, I'm going to guess probably no. I probably need to get that.
Bill,
that's why.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
No, so that's why you want to go to Midwest Bank.
I'll drive there today up to Creighton to get that figured out.
It's all free.
They have health records. Is that
Steve keeps health records on every customer? Yes. So if there's been an accident and there's someone, hey, they're going to need a blood transfusion, they call Steve. Yeah, he tells them the blood type that they have, and so that way he helps the hospital out very quickly in the area.
Obviously, Bill, if you go to the bank today, Midwest Bank in Creighton, you can turn down the shot, right? You don't have to get it.
I think it's mandatory.
Mandatory shot. I wonder if it'll be a high traffic day at the bank or not.
Sorry, before you do that transaction, you're gonna have to meet with Shin Daddy and the nurses.
I don't want this shot. Then it gets interesting.
You walked in, you got to take it.
Right.
Yeah. No. Steve is correct. It is optional. It is just there to help people. But why would you pass on a tetanus shot booster? That'd be crazy. I don't know what would. But I'd have to admit, when Steve brings this up, that it would be somewhat odd that if you went in just to move some money into a CD or something, then you also had a chance to get a tetanus booster shot at the same time. That would be interesting.
I don't know what I'd think if I went into the bank.
Might be some Yelps there today.
When I go to banks, the first thing I look at is the line. If there's a line, with Steve's bank, I don't even know what you'd think when you walked in.
Just look around. Say,
what is going on today?
What's going on over there? Well, they're giving tetanus booster shots. Duh.
And then they bank.
So I want to know, what is the bank robber profile? What do you look like? because when you go into banks now, you have to press the button to get in, and they have to look at you. Every bank that I go into now, you have to press a button to get into.
Bill, I bank.
Some do, but not
I
all
was
of
going
them.
to say I bank at Wells Fargo. There's no button. I just
Really?
walk in. Yeah, really. I don't. I just walk in.
Yeah,
now,
most
this
of
is
them have.
Wells Fargo. It's Wells Fargo.
Some
Most
banks
of them-
definitely are more cautious than others.
They have the button. You have to press again. I've always wondered. I must pass the look that I'm not going to rob the bank because they always let me in. I press the button and then they make beep, click, and I walk in and stand in there. And there's still a line inside sometimes.
We don't look
I
like
just wonder.
threats.
I must not look like it. But anyway, get that tetanus shot if you can, kid.
Thanks to Midwest Bank and Shin Daddy for always sponsoring hour 2 of the show. 464-5685. Call or text as always. Saw an article yesterday, a little write-up from CBS Sports. One of Sip's favorite things, Bill. He loves lists, number 1, and he loves grades, number 2. And CBS Sports was going through first-year head coaches in college football and giving them grades for their seasons. And the guy
I like this too.
In the head, the guy that they were focusing on with replacing Nick Saban was Kalen DeBoer, coming over from Washington, where he of course was runner-up to Michigan in the final the previous year. Yeah, they go 9-4 in Alabama, and CBS Sports gives Kalen DeBoer a C- for his grade. Sip, you had a problem with this?
I just don't see how you can get him to a C. I mean, he took a power and it diminished under his watch to the level of just an ordinary program. They lose to Vandy, and then they lose to Oklahoma when, as the article points out, their college football playoff hopes were still alive, and they put up 3 points against Oklahoma. They finished 9-4. They're lifeless again. They again pointed out in a little summary, lifeless offensively against Michigan in the bowl game. Horrible bowl performance. I mean, horrific. I think they had 3 turnovers in a 10-play span.
I believe they were 16.5-point favorites and lost to Michigan.
I just don't see how you can get DeBoer to a C. Now, fairness, they go C-. There might be some diplomacy in that grade. I just say D. Now, there's another one though, guys. Bill, I wonder what Bill would think of this. I guess what I'm saying, Bill, is Manny Diaz, I'd say quietly just did an exceptional job at Duke.
9-4, same record as Alabama.
Did you contemplate Manny Diaz at all this season?
Not really. But like I said, that's like an A+. I mean, he did a tremendous job. And remember, they had that crazy win or loss to SMU, and SMU turned it over 6 times. Was it double overtime or something? Anyway, crazy thing where if they could have won, that would have been a huge difference. And then one of their losses also was, in the bowl game, and they played Ole Miss, which was running on, and Ole Miss showed up, and also their quarterback had left. Their starting quarterback had left. So I mean, you could tell he tried everything in that bowl game to get his team to play, and they just didn't have enough. So it wasn't like they were checked out. So tremendous job. I mean, you won 9 games at Duke.
Right. And don't forget, their quarterback the previous year was in the championship game for Notre Dame.
Riley.
Yes.
Yeah, 9-4 without Riley Leonard, who was really good at Duke.
Manny Diaz just quietly goes about his business at Duke, gets an A. I thought the Sharon Moore grade was interesting too.
Yeah, B+ for Sharon Moore is what CBS Sports has for their grade.
I would have that lower.
Ooh, why? Why lower?
I'd have it lower because they being the coaching staff and Sharon Moore should have known that they didn't have a quarterback. That's on them. I mean, for a while they were playing with a walk-on, which doesn't matter. He's a walk-on, but they did not have quarterback play all year. And they should have known that. They should have known that we need to go get a quarterback. We do not have a quarterback.
Well, now hold on. I want to try the Johnny Cochran thing here and defend him. Now let's just unpack it a little bit. Did they have time? When did Harbaugh leave? When did it? Was it just too? I'm asking the question. I don't know. Was it just too late to get a quality quarterback? Was it too late in the calendar?
Well, I would put it, then that you could always push it more back on, not like push back, but maybe more just on Harbaugh, because obviously Harbaugh didn't leave until late after the portal window would have been closed. There would have been a spring portal window open also, but just for the overall. So yeah, if it was like, hey, we wanted one, but the previous head coach didn't want to do one at the time, and so I had no opportunity. And what was available in the second one window, I don't know. But I always say they had to have had some knowledge that we do not have a quarterback that can lead us to this. So that's the only thing I would push back on his grade.
The one, but I'm going Johnny Cochran here, Bill. If they were saddled with that situation and still got to 8-5, if they were saddled with something they couldn't control, and they were awful at quarterback. I hope people can remember what we're talking about. They were awful.
Yeah, it was awful.
They were awful.
They kept rotating.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole season.
Now, this is an interesting grade, B+, because as the article mentions, they were trending towards the D territory, D grade, D in early November. But
To beat Ohio,
last two games, they beat Ohio State, Alabama.
They beat Ohio State and Alabama.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Ohio State one is beyond remarkable.
Right.
Everyone thought that could be a 35-point loss, and they won at Ohio State. So for that, I would just say that's the only reason I'd push back to a B. But the ending of it was pretty good, and he may not have had any choice on what to do at quarterback, because if they would have had a quarterback, they would have won 2 more easily. They're a 10-win team.
We're looking at the CBS Sports grades for the first-year head coaches. A couple we mentioned, but no surprise. Curt Cignetti, A+ at Indiana, going 11-2. 2 losses to playoff teams, Ohio State and Notre Dame. Very, very good season for Curt Cignetti. Jonathan Smith goes.
So you're saying it wasn't a good season, Steve? I see you're pushing back.
No.
We all know that Sip loves Curt Cignetti. Big fan.
I'm not pushing back on the grade at all. I mean, I just wish it wasn't that good. But anyway,
there was another A+ this year from somebody that we also have not talked about at all. Fran Brown at Syracuse goes 10-3. A+ for Fran Brown in his first year at Syracuse.
Fran Brown and Cignetti get A+.
Syracuse was number 1 in the country in passing yards per game at 370 per game.
That's McCord.
Kyle McCord goes to Syracuse.
Kyle McCord played really well. I'm telling you, to this day, he would have been the starting quarterback at Ohio State, and that will be something that will just haunt him forever. Because I just don't believe he was run out. I think he was just told there's going to be competition. That was it. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm not in that room. But like I said, he won 10 games the year before. And he played really well. Jake, you're the master of this. I watched the ACC scheduling show last night in my hotel.
Did you really?
Oh, I love schedules. That's my deal. Like you love lists, I love schedules. Pull up Syracuse, Jake. Where do you see it? It has to be the hardest. It has to be the hardest schedule maybe in the country next year. So and they're going to have a new quarterback, obviously, too. So that'll be interesting. But
okay. All right. Syracuse will begin their season against Tennessee. That'll be, I think, in Syracuse. Looks like it says either neutral site or in Syracuse.
Okay.
Then they will play UConn.
Okay, that's tough. That's not easy.
UConn was good this year with Jim Mora Jr. Then Colgate. Should be a win for Syracuse. Then they're at Clemson. And then Duke is at Syracuse off a 9-win season.
Now think about that start.
Think about the first 4 games you just said. Each one of those teams, I believe, won 10, 9 or 10.
That's a hard schedule.
Then they're at SMU, playoff team.
That's hard.
Pitt at Syracuse, October 18th. Syracuse at Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
And they will host Bill Belichick in North Carolina on Halloween, October 31st.
Right.
And then November hits. They're at Miami. And then they're at Notre Dame, and then they host Boston College to end the season.
Bill, what kind of schedule is that?
It's almost like it's close to Florida's last year. It's close to it.
It is.
It's. I mean, I believe there's probably 7 teams that won 9 or 10 games last year. And when you name the names, and right away you're excited about Boston College, and Boston College can beat you. They're good enough. They'll be pretty.
Yeah.
They have one win that's pretty much guaranteed. One. Colgate.
Are we seeing this just more and more because of just the way the conferences are now? I mean, what's going on? That is amazing.
I don't know. Well, they open up with Tennessee, an SEC playoff team.
That's rough.
And why would you
That's rough.
I don't understand why you would do that, but it's good for the fans. That is a monster schedule. If he can get 7 out of that, it'd be really
if he goes to a bowl game, he's 6-6 or 7-5, it should be an A+ again.
Other grades of coaches. Mike Elko at A&M gets a B- for going 8-5 in his first year with the Aggies. Deshaun Foster. Remember, UCLA was 1-5 at one point. They looked horrific this year. Then they bounced back, finished 4-2. He gets a B after a 5-7 season at UCLA.
That seems kind.
They had a nice November and late October.
Yeah.
They were 1-5 to 5-7.
Seems kind.
Seems like a C to me.
Yeah, I mean, you finish below 500, you get a B.
Well, they were predicted to be a pretty bad team, weren't they? Didn't we think they'd be a bad team after Chip Kelly left?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're
first year head
splitting hairs a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get him to a B if he was 6-6, maybe. But man, giving a B to a 5-7, it seems awfully kind.
Jed Fish replacing Caitlin DeBoer gets a C+ at 6-7 at Washington.
Probably expect a little bit more out of Fish.
Lost a lot of players. Roma Dunze,
yeah.
Michael Penix, of course, a first-round offensive lineman as well for Washington.
Over. Yeah, the roster turned over. It did.
Yeah, it was insane.
Jonathan Smith, a 5-7, gets a C at Michigan State, missing the bowl game there.
It's very underwhelming all the way around. I mean, there's just not much juice there at Michigan State.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
One big win. Didn't they beat Iowa? Just beat them bad.
Mhm.
That's probably their one game that stood out.
DeBoer has, I mean, he has a lot on his hands right now after going 9-4 in his first year. That fan base is going to expect a lot next year. And I don't know what they have. I don't know what he has coming back, but
yeah, they're right away. You're going into it. You're in a tough situation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's in a tough situation, all right.
So there's your grades from CBS Sports on coaches' first years of their school.
I like
C-.
We might have to delve into Alabama's schedule next year. That's something we'll have to look at.
Do that tomorrow.
Do that
tomorrow and see what I'll delve into it tonight.
Hey, when
the
we come
ACC
back,
show was incredible last night.
When we come back, we got a surprise guest that's calling in. Remember putt for a Porsche? Remember that situation at PBA last week? Putt for a Porsche. The winner, Travis Weber, going to call into the show.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
You're kidding.
Travis is calling.
Will I be able to hear that, Jake?
You should be able to hear that, Bill.
All right. Nice. Get ready, Bill.
All right. Travis Weber from Putt for a Porsche is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, enjoy a 3-day sale from January 30th to February 1st, featuring USDA Choice whole beef brisket for $3.99 per pound, all-natural pork butt $1.79 per pound, farmland bacon $3.99 per 16 ounces with a limit of 4, and all-natural spare ribs $2.99 per pound. That's the 3-day sale from January 30th to February 1st at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
You're working out, eating right, living a healthy lifestyle, but your energy sucks. This could be a sign of low testosterone. Where do you turn for help? The answer is Limitless Male, the #1 testosterone clinic for men in the Midwest. Start by scheduling your free consult at one of our 13 clinics. If low T is the diagnosis, a custom treatment plan will get your energy back on track. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break.
Jake, you're a freaking nutcase.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're doing a little bit of a change in our rundown because we have the opportunity to have a very special guest on the show. If you recall, let's go back to last week.
Okay.
When Nebraska basketball was hosting USC at Pinnacle Bank Arena, trying to end a losing streak. They did not end the streak. They lost the game to USC. But there was a moment in the first half during a break where there was a putt for a Porsche competition from the full length of the court. We see this once in a while on the highlights across Sports Center. You don't see it often in Nebraska. And this time the putt was sank by a breaker. Lister, he's on the phone right now. Travis Weber, the putt for a Porsche winner. Travis, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Number one, we'll get to what's happening now, but let's go back to the moment when you sank the putt, the full court putt. Did you go in with confidence you'd make that putt? And what happened when you actually made it? What was the euphoria like, Travis?
No, there was absolutely no confidence in making that putt because on the other side it looks impossible, and the hole is actually smaller than a regulation hole too. So I went in with no confidence, and that actually probably helped me.
Travis,
I wasn't nervous because of that.
Travis, but you must be. You're a golfer. You have to be a golfer, right? I mean, how good of a putter are you, generally speaking?
Well, Jake can probably tell you that. I'm a decent golfer. I wouldn't say great. Putting wise, putting is probably one of my best things, but
good.
I wouldn't say I'm a good putter by any means. Jake could probably put me to shame, but I'm average.
I don't think I'm making that putt, Travis. You made a long putt.
Is it just a straight line putt? I mean, there wasn't any lag or anything like that, right?
No, it did. If you watch the video, it did turn a little bit there at the very end. You can kind of see on the 3-point line, but besides that, it seemed to go pretty straight.
Interesting.
So there's this moment of euphoria. The fans go crazy, rightfully so. You go crazy, rightfully so. And then, the aftermath is what we're all curious about. You were putting this for a reason, to win a Porsche. This was last Thursday, right? Is that last Thursday this happened?
It was.
We're curious.
Last
Wednesday. Now, Travis, it is Tuesday of the week following. There were some questions about where this was going the next day, and these as a Friday. What is the status right now of the Porsche, and when might you own the Porsche, if you will still get the Porsche, Travis?
Just like any golf contest or a lot of contests, they insure the contest itself. So you have to go through some insurance hoops. Right now we're getting like affidavits signed and notarized, one from me, one from some witnesses, I guess. At UNL, you have to have at least 2 witnesses, just like in golf. And then from what I've heard after that, after all that gets cleared, then their insurance company is going to call me and interview me. Once that happens and it's all cleared, then they send the check to Porsche of Omaha, which is Woodhouse. And then I guess I get to pick out what color I want and order the car.
A lot of rigmarole.
What are they interviewing you about? What do they have questions about, Travis? Because you had mentioned to us the day after that there was questions if you were a professional golfer, which I'm not sure why that matters on a full court putt. It's not a putting green, but yeah, a lot of loops you had to go through here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be a professional golfer. You couldn't have knowledge of it ahead of time, which more or less means to me you couldn't practice, which I could probably practice that 100 times and not make it again. But then there's just minor rules they have to, just stop somebody from cheating. But I don't even know how you could cheat that, because it's luck at the end of the day.
Yeah, this is amazing. So what color? What color are you thinking about?
Oh, I was thinking about red, but I'm open for any suggestions.
Is there any fear? do you have
it's any Porsche, man? You take your own color.
Do you have any concern at all at this point? Do you have any concern at all at this point that this Porsche might not happen?
I have confidence in Husker Athletics. I think it's going to happen. I know they'll do their best to make it happen.
Now, we were trying by Travis Weber. He's the putt for the Porsche winner last Wednesday at PBA. Now, you had texted us, Travis. We kind of asked, what was the level of surprise from the people putting on the promotion when it happened? Take us back to that moment and the response they had when the putt actually went through. Not yourself, but them.
I think they were surprised. It's just a couple workers there that run it, a couple Husker Athletic people. And they handed me the keys, and I think their assumption was that I got to walk away with it.
Right.
But they were told from the Porsche people that were there that it had to go back to Omaha, and there was like an insurance process. So I'm not sure they knew exactly how it worked. I kind of had a feeling because I own a business, so I've actually ran a couple hole-in-one contests at golf tournaments before with my business, so I knew that's kind of how it was going to work. But yeah, they were at the assumption, and I know they were shocked. I don't think anybody planned on anybody winning. So they thought that Porsche was for me to drive away with. I'm the one that was at the front of the building.
And let's be clear here, because people aren't sure. Is this a leased Porsche? Is it a owned Porsche? When you obtain this Porsche, is it yours for a long time? Is it a 1-year rent? What's the situation? Is it yours to keep forever?
No, I've read a lot about that online, but no, it is 100% mine.
Wow.
God, that's incredible. I just could you imagine if it was just that simple and they just said you won it, here's the keys, and you just leave PBA that day, drive in a new Porsche and just buzz home. That's just be awesome.
That's the informative part of the conversation. That's the informative part of the conversation to me, is that's not the way it works. That's the way I would think it would work. Yeah, you just won a Porsche. It's right outside. It's yours. Congratulations.
I would imagine that this has changed so many promotions on every basketball team there is, because all of a sudden you're at Iowa State and you're like, yeah, we do this. And, hey, you see what just happened at Nebraska? The dude made it, and they're like going, what? No one can make that shot. That's impossible to make that shot. It's like a carnival game. It's like you can't win. And so I see this being pulled at some time now. Like, no, this is actually possible. A guy just made it.
Yep.
You might be the last ever winner of a Porsche, Travis, because you actually made the putt, like Bill said.
Yeah,
that's pretty flattering.
You
actually,
make that hole smaller.
It's kind of flattering.
Hole smaller.
Keep talking to them. I think they plan on doing it again, so we'll see.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
This is awesome. We hope you keep us up to date in terms of when you actually own the Porsche. And actually, would you please come by the station for the show when that happens? As Bill said, the city will
pull, I talked to Lincoln. It's fine. I talked to the police department. You pull it right up on the sidewalk.
Yeah. It might be 2027 when this happens.
Right. But eventually when you have it,
I know
we'll be here.
I know this. You want to see things like that. This is going to happen. And Travis had it right. Trust the University of Nebraska that they'll do the right thing with it. But we will have a support staff there if you hit any bumps in the road. We will get some people together.
Now, Travis, I'm curious. This was something that went viral. It was not just Nebraska. It went across ESPN. It went across the world. How many people have reached out to you for interviews, I suppose, and in general from friends and family trying to give you some praise here, Travis?
Yeah, I think my comment for one of the interviews I did was, this is more texts and calls than I've had for my last 10 or 20 birthdays combined. So it's been a lot of people. I about the only, I have had people reach out, local, national. I pretty much only took the local ones though, because that's all I really care about. I'm going to do one national one on Thursday, but it's a national guy that's actually from Omaha. So I'll do that one since he's somewhat local. But the national ones, I'm just more of a local guy. I prefer to do local stuff.
Now,
the right guy won this. God, what a great guy.
He deserves to win. Now, Travis, this is a lot of people are asking this in the text, so I want to ask it, and you probably expect this question, but people are saying, what's the tax situation on the Porsche for Travis? How's the taxes going to work for Travis here? Do you have an update for that for the people that want to know, Travis?
I thought about hitting up USIP for a GoFundMe. But
a GoFundMe for the taxes.
I guess I'll have
to do a GoFundMe.
I guess I don't know the exact numbers yet, and everybody keeps telling me that they may offer me cash instead. So I don't know about that yet. But right now, since we're still on the insurance hoops, like I don't even know what the dollars and taxes are. I know it's to be determined, but I have a ballpark number in my head. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like $15,000 or $20,000. But yeah,
big whoop.
It's going to hurt the wallet a little bit, but I guess I get a free car.
you do get a free car.
It's a free car. Went to a basketball game, walked out with a Porsche.
Not bad. Someone says on the text line, is Travis a Porsche guy? Do you have a garage for this Porsche at your current setup, Travis?
Definitely not a Porsche guy.
Not a Porsche
Never
guy.
had a Porsche. Never thought I'd drive a Porsche.
Well, you have to figure out a place to put it, Travis. But once again, congratulations. We are thrilled for you. We can't wait to see the Porsche come by here at the station and maybe take it for a test drive, possibly, and park it right in front of the glass, as Bill has called for here.
Yes.
So,
sounds great, guys.
Once again, that's Travis Weber, the putt for a Porsche winner. Travis, thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thank you, guys. We'll see you.
All right.
Wow.
There you go.
So
Travis Weber.
So Travis Weber of Lincoln, right?
Yes, Travis lives in Lincoln.
So they just hand you
friend of Jake's.
He's a long time breaker, by the way. Travis is a long time breaker. Been with us for a long time.
Like Jake, if it was you and they handed you a putter, would automatically you like think, okay, I don't know if I can use this putter or not, but I guess I have to. Would the putter matter to you?
I mean, in that promotion, you just do what you putt with what you get.
It's
you don't bring your
amazing.
own putter in.
It's
for that.
amazing what he did. It really is. I mean, if you think about what he did, it's incredible. And he won a Porsche.
Yeah.
Now wait a second.
The tax situation is. He said
taxes are that
he
much.
said $15,000 to $20,000 possibly in taxes. So yeah, it's a free car with the cost attached to it though.
Yeah,
free with asterisk.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Pay the taxes. Yeah, you want the car.
Okay, you want the car. You wouldn't just take the cash. He mentioned that there's some offer that there might be a possibility they just offer him cash. Be tempting.
Yeah.
That'd be
What would you take?
Well, it'd be tempting.
Porsche or cash?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Bill, Porsche or
I'm
cash?
I'm 100%. I'm taking the car. I'm like, I won this car, and then most of them like that. Nope, I'm taking the car.
100%. I'm not 100% because I'm thinking I want a truck, and I don't know if I want to. It's a tough one. That's a tough one.
If you're
now, if he changed his mind in a year, took the Porsche, drove it for a year, like, okay, I want this. It's my truck. I paid the tax. I mean, my Porsche. I paid the taxes. I'm trading it in, getting a different deal. Okay, but I'm gonna go with a 1 year of the Porsche. I'm taking the car initially.
Okay, that's probably the appropriate thing to do.
If you're trying to guess the value of a Porsche and don't know it, I mean, this is from David from Renew Your Auto, which was a lot of cars, obviously.
What are we talking about here?
He says taxes are 7.25% of the MSRP. So if the MSRP is $208,000, then that would be $15,000 worth in taxes.
Jeez.
I think you take the car. That's incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. And you would take the car. I didn't know I didn't know it was that much.
I had no idea.
There will be new excitement every time that game gets played. Is it halftime when they do it, or when do they do that?
It's midway through the first half. It seems like a halftime contest, but that was like 10 minutes ago in the first half is when they did the contest.
So when it happens again, is it tomorrow night that the Huskers play?
Thursday night.
Thursday against Illinois.
Thursday night, Bill.
Thursday, when that game when they do the contest, the crowd's going to be alert, very alert. They're like hey, this has happened before. I'm going to watch this close.
The first thing to watch is if there's a car parked out front. I did notice the car last week. There was and Bill, it was not a conventional, like when you think of a Porsche, what do you think of? Like a little sedan, right?
Yeah, that's what I think of.
It's not what it was. It wasn't that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like I don't know how to describe it, like a wagon. You know, it was a Porsche
wagon.
Yeah, it was like a Porsche wagon. It was
a Wagoneer.
I did not see the Porsche. I cannot speak to it.
It wasn't what you would think of when you think of Porsche.
Okay.
Yeah, that would kind of What if Travis just won a station wagon?
Travis says it's a smaller SUV.
Well, there you
is
go.
The type there.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you.
He also said there's more of a gift taxes or lottery taxes involved, which is
that's the issue you hear all the time with The Price is Right. People win all these gifts, and it's like, yeah, we need about $90,000 cash right now from you for your taxes before you take these. That's always been the bugaboo behind the scenes.
That's a legitimate bugaboo.
That's a legit bugaboo.
That's legit.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like all of a sudden you think you've won, just so you're going crazy. A new car. Then you get them back. It's like, okay, and so you have to pay like day of. Okay, I'm gonna need $40,000 from you right now. You have that. You have that on you.
Thanks for nothing. Unbelievable.
So yeah, Porsche. You called it a Porsche. What a wagon?
He said a smaller SUV.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know the brand, but
it looked maroon. The one they had out there, it was dark out, but I noticed it. Now that thing to look.
Was it by the?
Go ahead, Billy.
Was it by the protest area?
Yes, it was.
It was by the protest
exactly
area.
Right
You've got it figured out.
If there's a protest, it's going to be right by
the protest. I gotta get through it. Steve did walk me through it because he knew I'd be winded because I'd already walked for 35 minutes to get over to the PBA. Yeah, no problem. Just park in the ramp right next to the stage. I'm like, there's no one in it. I was the only car in it, and I took off walking through a driving snowstorm. And then Sipple calls. He goes, "Hey, you're probably getting close now. You've been walking for a half hour. There's going to be a protest. Keep your head down.
Just don't make eye contact.
Don't make eye contact." I said, "Keep your eyes. No eye contact. Keep your head down."
Bill, are you sticking around for the game show?
I am not. I have to depart.
All right, Bill.
You're on your own.
Thank you, Bill. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going to join us tomorrow, right?
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your speech. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Bill. All right, that's Bill Busch from St. Louis.
Thank you very much.
It is time to play The game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Today's topic is colleges of former NFL running backs. Where did these running backs go to? Not current ones, former NFL running backs.
Okay.
Maybe from better times even, possibly.
Okay, this will be good. I have confidence in this.
If you know your former NFL running back colleges, please give us a call right now at 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Dick-Down Sip in trivia. Today's topic is colleges of former NFL running back. Sip feels pretty good about this.
Bill is out.
Yeah, Bill, it's mano-y-mano. No lifeline for you.
No lifeline. Bill's in St. Louis. But yeah, now I'm on my own.
Well, let's see how our caller Trent feels. Trent, how do you feel about colleges of former NFL running backs?
Good morning, guys. I feel so-so.
So.
Okay, who's this again?
Trent. This is Trent.
Hello, Trent. How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
All right, there's no lifeline for either of you, so it's mano-y-mano. First question goes to Trent. Here we go. Trent, what school did former NFL running back Marshawn Lynch go to?
Cal.
Brilliant. Cal is correct. 1-0 lead for Trent. Would you have that, Sip?
Pretty sure I would have had it. It didn't click automatically, but I think it would have clicked. Go ahead.
All right, Sip down 1-0. First question. What school did former NFL running back Curtis Martin go to?
Ooh, I don't have the foggiest idea.
A good NFL running back.
Yeah, Curtis, my favorite Martin.
Yes, as
Jets.
Chris Furman would say, yeah. And Patriots.
Curtis Martin. I'm going to give this a whirl. Curtis Martin, Syracuse.
Did not go to the Qs. Do you want that one or not, Trent?
No, I'm not confident on that one, no.
He was a Pittsburgh Panther.
Yep, didn't know it. Just didn't know it.
For the win, up 1-0. Last question, Trent. What school did former NFL running back Steven Jackson go to?
He was an Oregon Beaver. Oregon State. Oregon State Beaver.
Yeah, you can.
Oregon Brilliant.
Yeah. That is correct. Oregon State for Steven Jackson.
You can name two schools.
Well, he
get one
said the Beavers. He went. He didn't man.
I'm glad it said Beaver.
If he said the Oregon Ducks, I'd say no chance to reach.
I'm joking. It's fine.
Trent, congrats with your Bengals. Thanks for calling in and calling down the road.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Nice win for Trent there.
I just got body slammed. Just got body slammed.
I'll be honest. I don't think I would have got Curtis Martin right either. Great running back.
I didn't know. No idea.
He was a third-round pick.
It doesn't even resonate in my mind after the fact that he went to Pitt.
Let's see if you get this one right. I feel good about your chances here. Your game's over, but for Steve, give a point here. What school did former NFL running back Corey Dillon go to?
Washington.
Was he a Husky? Yes, he was.
Brilliant.
And Bill is not here, but this is for you now, tiebreaker. How many running backs have ran for 10,000 career yards in NFL history? 10,000 plus yards.
10,000 plus yards. There can't be many. 27.
Not a bad guess. 32. And the last one on that list is Ricky Williams. 10,009 career yards for Ricky. So congrats to Trent. He wins bagels, but you got a question right. So he didn't go 0 for there.
Yeah, thanks.
0-2 in the week, I believe. No, he just lost yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Ellie. Yeah.
Ellie. See, Bill calls her Ellie, so now I'm.
You stay strong.
I didn't mean
Ellie.
to. It's Ellie.
Ellie. Yeah.
Ellie. She's got it on the board.
Does she? Good.
Yeah, she's got it on the board.
Okay. Well, there we go. That's Shut Up Simple. Congrats to Trent. He wins the bagels. The spillover is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK, make flying easy.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
You're working out, eating right, living a healthy lifestyle, but your energy sucks. This could be a sign of low testosterone. Where do you turn for help? The answer is Limitless Male. the #1 testosterone clinic for men in the Midwest. Start by scheduling your free consult at one of our 13 clinics. If low T is the diagnosis, a custom treatment plan will get your energy back on track. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Chris Raff, sponsored by our friends at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. Raff has informed us that AD is speaking in Reno, Nevada today, which sparked an incredible moment during the break, which I have to give Sip some major kudos here. Wow. I said years ago that I went to Reno, as part of a trip to, I went to Coeur d'Alene, Reno, Lake Tahoe.
Yes, you did. What were you doing up there?
It was a week-long trip with my wife and a couple friends.
With Elizabeth.
Yes. And I came back. I told you would love Reno. It seems like a city I liked. It was not a disparaging comment, but I thought you'd like Reno. You then guessed the population of Reno to be about, 275? I looked it up. 278,000. He was 3,000 up. You're meant to be there. You're meant to be.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Maybe that's a spot I end up in my later life. Well, I'm in my later life.
I mean, Bill speaks highly of Reno. He walks through the casino.
Right? He talked about people. Yeah, he was walking you have to walk through the casino to get to the football field. And he'd be like, see people smoking. He thought it was funny.
Well, that is funny.
It is. Reno.
That's where AD's at today.
Is there anything that made an impression on you about Reno? Think about it now. You're good.
Well,
you're good with
I
words.
said this. It's like a half hour to 45 minutes away from Lake Tahoe. That's a big win. You're in the vicinity of a really cool spot in this country. I like the fact that casinos aren't overwhelming like they are in Vegas. Like those are overwhelming casinos in Vegas. Yes. Fun. For Reno, again, it's 278,000 people. It's a mini Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's a blast. I thought it's a nice little district of casinos.
All right.
I forget what they had. It's called like the coolest little town in the world. Something like that. Yeah. It's neat. You'd like it.
Have you been there, Raph?
I have not been to Reno.
You've been to a lot of places, Raph. You've never been to Reno.
Never been to Reno.
I've been to a lot of places. I've never been to Reno.
That's where Nevada's based. The universities in Reno.
Nevada,
the Wolfpack.
Reno. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Check it out. I'm telling you. Go to Reno. You won't be disappointed.
Welcome to the studio, Raph. What's on your mind today?
Not too much. Just thinking about it today. I was like, man, one more game of football this year, and life gets kind of boring.
Don't say that. I fight that feeling all the time. I do. I try to resist it. And one way you can do that is, that, okay, there is only one game left, but you also know the conversation about football, college, pro never stops. It never stops. It's so much a part of our country's fabric. There's built-in things that happen, like the draft, like the Senior Bowl, like the East-West Shrine game. Like the East-West Shrine game is on Thursday. Jake Nash-Hutmacher is in that game.
Nice.
The Shrine Bowl is on Saturday, and that's Fedoni, Hill, and Ty. Thomas Fedoni,
Tommy Hill,
and Ty Robinson.
Yeah.
So those guys. So that's an example. It never really stops, Raph. It never really stops.
Okay, I won't be bored.
Well, and I noticed during, I believe, the Fox game when they showed Commanders Eagles on Sunday, they had promos going for is it UFL it plays during the offseason?
Spring League.
They had promos going for the UFL on Fox.
Remember last year it was Adrian Martinez Adrian had a great year in one of the USFL or UFL, whatever.
So I was wondering about that too, because
UFL,
yeah,
is how the NFL will handle that with like futures contracts and stuff like that. Like, do you think they'll let Adrian play this summer to try and defend the title, or do you think since he signed the futures contract with the Jets that?
Good question.
So I was curious about that.
I would
sports show question.
If I were to guess on behalf of Adrian, I think he wants to stick with the NFL team.
Yeah.
Right. It's fun. It's a great story. It's great to be highlighted in the offseason. But if you have a chance to latch on to an NFL team, you just take that and run.
Right. But I was just illustrating how the conversation continues. And Adrian became like I wrote a column about him. I mean, it just the conversation goes on. There'll be the draft in April, right?
Yep.
Nebraska will have some semblance of a spring season. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting now. Will there be a spring game? I don't know that there'll be a spring game. Matt Rule is going to talk to the media, I believe, later this week, and that would be a question for him. Will there be a traditional spring game?
Well, and by the way, regarding the draft, that, to be honest, it has been very depressing the last couple of years. Last many years, it's been
for Nebraska.
It shouldn't be as depressing this year. Ty Robinson should be a second or third round pick. Nash will be a drafted player, I would think.
You say that with confidence.
Drafted, and say hi, but he should be a drafted player.
Do you say
Tommy Hill will be a drafted player? I think, and we got benched here at the end, but
Fedoni could be drafted.
If
you're in that All-Star game, you have a good chance of getting drafted. I mean, you really do. I mean, the numbers show it. I think 43% of the players that have played in it last year were drafted. Does that sound right? I just threw a number out there.
So I got a question about the spring game.
Okay, go ahead, Ref.
Spring game.
So there's a lot of talk. There probably won't be a spring game, which I totally understand because you don't have enough linemen. So, but the volleyball team plays a scrimmage every year, and they usually play like Kansas State or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any possibility that Nebraska could have another team come up here and do a scrimmage?
It's been a constant off-season topic for years because it's just entertainment for fans. What we discussed is that it's fun for the fans. There's a lot of risk involved if you're a head coach, because even though it's an exhibition, it doesn't count. If Nebraska got beat by K-State by 14 points, you're talking about, oh God, here we go.
Right.
Team stinks. When it was an exhibition.
I don't know if
also injuries get involved.
If you just ran it like a scrimmage like that.
I don't know.
I'm thinking like that's one day during the spring where that's 60,000 people in your stadium with concessions and all that stuff.
It would be incredible. It would be incredible to bring
Kansas
There's
State. A big but there.
It is. I agree with you, Jake. What I'm suggesting is, yes, on the surface it sounds like a great idea. Just have two teams play on a Saturday afternoon in Lincoln. It would be beautiful. Okay, and then the conversation branches off a little bit. It's going to be taken seriously. You're going to judge Dylan Raiola, for instance, and how well he plays in that game. And if he doesn't play well, there's going to be commentary. And yeah, like Jake said, if Nebraska were to get rolled by Kansas State in what we would call a meaningless game, the game is not meaningless at that point.
But wonder if it wasn't a game. Wonder if it was just like not a real live game, like more like a practice scrimmage. Like the NFL teams do when they come in the middle of the week for spring training. Something that would
like
give
drills against each other. Then
you would scrimmage, but it wouldn't be a real game. Like you would, okay, first team versus first team. Okay, we'll do this for 12 plays. Then we'll switch. We'll get a gist of it. You'll be like, yeah, Adrian played good against the first team there.
Right.
But I don't know, just something to give the fans, because there's a lot of fans out there that are craving in the spring for that spring game just to, see something.
Then I would say that would just diminish the impact to the point where I just say, just do drills with your own team. You don't need to bring another team up here. If you're going to bring another
game.
Yeah, if you're going to bring another team up here, let's get it on.
I mean, Nebraska volleyball, there might be one year where they play that scrimmage against a team and they come up and get beat.
Right.
I mean, does that throw the whole state into a shockwave where you're like, well, I believe in
Yes, if Wichita State upset Nebraska, it would throw.
It would.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
I also don't
cause some concern.
I also don't see like a KU or a K-State saying, yeah, we'll go to Nebraska for the spring. It's more like a South Dakota State you might get.
Yeah, and that's
or South Dakota playing against FCS team.
You see the danger though, right?
I just don't think you'd get Chris Kleiman saying, yeah, we'll go practice for the spring at Memorial Stadium. I don't see that. I can see FCS doing that.
So anyway,
I like the concept. We've mentioned it before many times, but it's just is it feasible?
We'll see what Matt Rule says this week. If indeed I think it's all very tentative, but I think he will address the media as a whole for the first time since the bowl game, and I think that'll happen later this week. But it's tentative.
Well, there you go. That's it for us. The Drive with Raf, AD, and Amon Green is next for Steve Sipple and Bill Busch. I am Jake Sorensen. We will see you tomorrow.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln.